beauty fam, welcome back to MikiCarrBeauty. I'm Miki Carico, and on my channel I love to talk about luxury skincare, beauty, and sometimes small luxury goods. And today we are going to talk about the new fall collection for makeup, Hermes. And Hermes came up with a beautiful quad, this one here. It is Ombres Minerales, and they came out with 3 lip products, but I only picked up 2 of them. One is a lip balm, the other 2 are colors, and I picked up these 2 beauties right here. So if you're interested in a quick demo, my first impressions, at least on the eye makeup, I've been using these lipsticks for close to a week, then keep watching. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe below. Helps me out in engagement on my channel. And with that out of the way, beauty fam, let's begin. Okay, beauty fam, these came out a couple of weeks ago, and I'm just getting around to filming it. And then I'll show you some product shots when I'm talking about this collection. This is the Hermes Ombres d'Hermes Eyeshadow Quartet limited edition. It retails a whopping $114. Now that's a lot of money. So it is Hermes, which is luxury beauty. And it says the recreation for autumn winter 2024, the limited edition makeup collection for lips, eyes, and hands evokes the subtle contrast between the sensuality of leather and the aura of blue, along with the mild days of summer, interrupted by the first cooler days of autumn. Designed by Grigoris Pripelis, creative director of Hermes Beauty, the eyeshadow palette offers a color quartet and multiple possibilities for a natural, intense, or sophisticated look. The color, Ombres Minerales, combines the intensity of cobalt blue with the softness of khaki and the sun-kissed warmth of brown and a note of gold to illuminate the gaze. The soft and light formula of the eyeshadows is easily blended with a finger or a brush for customized intensity. Each finish is inspired by the silk métier. Matte evokes silk chiffon, satin suggests silk twill, while the shimmering finish is reminiscent of silk lame. The eyeshadow palette consists of up to 98% ingredients of natural origin, combining silky emollients and oils for easy long wear application. The Rouge Hermes Light Matte Lipsticks, and there were 3 of them. I picked up the 2. I did not get to the Beige Glacé, which was just looked more like a topper or a glass kind of like glaze. That was not going to show up on me, and I'm not really into that concealer kind of look. So I picked up 2 of the deeper colors, and they are beautiful. And it always comes with these cases here, and when you open it up, it always comes up with the logo first. I tend to store them this way so I can see what I'm pulling from my makeup collection. And these are the 2 colors. This is the lighter one, this is the deeper one. I've been using these all week and I cannot put them down. So let's go with the lighter one. This is the limited edition Beige Doblis, number 23. The color Beige Doblis is a warm beige, dense and pink tone like clay court. Nice. It is kind of like clay court. It is really, really beautiful. The product is an easily buildable formula with its light matte finish, fades on the lips into a transparent veil. It combines ultra comfort with long wear and light to medium coverage. The formula combines a moisturizing complex with white mulberry extract to lastingly hydrate the lips. The design of the package is by Pierre Hardy. Lipstick tubes are enlivened with a trio of green and earthy colors refreshed by deep blues. Their ultra matte finish reinterprets the velvety feel of leather. Love this packaging. So beautiful packaging here. You have the blue, which is that shade here as the bottom. You have the green, and then the black, and then the orange reflecting here. Really beautiful. And it says here, engraved with the signature Ex Libris, the object is protected by a canvas pouch, then slipped into an orange box. And this is what they were saying. This icon here, and then slipped into a case, and it always comes into an orange box, which I think I've put in storage already, but I keep them for sure because they're beautiful. And it's the limited edition. Object is refillable, and yeah, let me show you. These are also made in Italy. And there we go. It took me a minute. So these are refillable, so I have an extra one actually I bought, and this is kind of an extra one, and I could rotate these. So these are pretty secure. And the other color is called Rouge Nappa, and this is the one that's a deeper color. Very beautiful. It's very, very fall. It's Rouge Nappa, an intense burgundy that fades into translucent wine-colored shade. And then these retail $79. Again, this you can take out the case and these are refillable. So I am so excited for this collection. I love fall colors. What I'm going to do is show you the demonstration of how I got this eye look here, and then I demo each of these lipsticks separately, and then I actually combine them. So what's on my lips now is a combination of both. I love each of these individually, and I've been having fun. Depending on what I'm wearing, the color of this lipstick will change. So we find that so interesting. They're super pigmented, very comfortable, and I'll just let you know already, spoiler alert, that I think out of this entire collection, if you're going to get anything, I would definitely get the lipsticks. The lipsticks to me are very special. I think these are really, really beautiful fall shades. And when Hermes really says that they're limited edition on the colors, like once they're sold out, they're gone. So I have been really reaching for this Beige Doblis just like all week. I just think it's such a beautiful, beautiful shade. Let me do a little quick swatch of the Rouge Nappa here. It's definitely more red. And then I have some other Hermes lipsticks, and I have a refill. I can't remember the name of this one. I have to write it below. And so this is like a lighter one. It's more orange, and I'll put the name below, but this is something I got a while back. And then I have 3 other Hermes lipsticks. This is the Rose Épice Rose Spice. Sorry about that, it's a pretty bad swatch. It's more pink, but you can tell I definitely have a type here. So I thought it might be a dupe for the new one, but it's not. This one's a little bit more brown. This is a bit more pink. I think this is Rose Indian, that one. And then the last one I have is a Rose Oasis. This was a limited edition one. This is more of a satin one. That's not a matte. So I actually prefer their matte formula more than satin. So this is actually my first purchase, and I thought it was okay. And then once I hit the matte formula, I was done. That was it. So I would have to say that Hermes definitely has some of my favorite matte formulas on the market. The beautiful Hermes box, and what's cool is they kind of tell you a little bit of how to use them. That the top 2s are the ones that you can use by itself, and then the bottom left one is kind of like the surprise shade. But for this look, I definitely used green all over my lid. I definitely keep these boxes. I mean, this is Hermes, this is Luxury Beauty, and nothing can beat like the packaging of Hermes. Look how gorgeous that is. And then the box slides this way, and it comes with a pouch. Let me just pull it up. It's like their custom burlap pouch. And what's in the pouch is actually the wooden lacquer little brush. Now, I have not used this. I definitely use my own brushes, but it's so, so cute. Look how cute that is. Okay, so we're going to move on to the look of how I got this, and I definitely recommend getting something from this collection. I would say if you're on a budget and you're interested, for sure, think about getting the lipstick. If you're asking me which one would I get, and I only could get one thing, I would definitely get the Beige Doblis, so this color here. And I'm hoping they come out with refill soon, because I definitely want to pick up a refill of this color. I think it's just a beautiful, beautiful color. The packaging of these, so fall, I love them. For sure, like the standout from this collection for me are the lipsticks. These are beautiful. These are colors I would wear, so I was happy to get them. The formula is a little bit different, which you'll see in my reviews. So you'll see what my thoughts are on the formula for this. And then also at the end, I will show you some quads I have and eyeshadows I already have in my collection that I think could pass as close dupes for this. But the one thing I couldn't find in my collection was a quad that had all 4 of these. Like most of them had shades of these 3 down here, but not a navy. But navy is an easy shade to find. I want to swatch these for you and compare it on my hand. So I want to show these to you compared to the other quad I have. These are not as creamy as the other formula, so that is what it looks like. And really it doesn't swatch very good, if I'm being honest. So I had to go through like a second round, but on my eyes they look fine, they perform fine, they just don't swatch very good. Okay, and then what I'm going to do is compare it to this one. This is the Ombres Marines, the one based on water, and this is so much creamier. I love this quad. You can see how much more pigmented that is. So you can see there's a difference in the formula. This is much more creamy and this is more powdery, but in my experience, like still it performed beautifully on my face. Okay, so we'll get to the demo and then my final thoughts on this collection. Okay, so we're gonna use this beautiful kind of terracotta shade as a base color, taking my classic crease from Sonia G and then going into what they call it, the base color. Okay, that went on really easy. This is a beautiful terracotta rust color, at least how it's showing up on me. This is so nice. Often on days when I'm so busy, this could be a one and done. If I just want a wash of color on my eyes, I might go into that and then fill up the entire eyelid with this shade because it can be built up with dimension. So I'm just building up the color, so where I want it to be deeper, I'm just putting that in the outer V. And then I'm just blending out the shade. And because I have hooded lids, I like to use as much up to almost close to the eyebrow as possible because I'm trying to use what space I have. Okay, that ended up blending really nicely. These are not as creamy as the previous formulas I've tried, but it's still nice. Let's go into this, actually I want to go into this green shade, and I'm pretty picky about greens, and I'll tell you why. Like, it has to be, for me and my skin tone, there are certain greens that look good on me. So army greens, chartreuse greens, but there are some greens that are the gray greens are not nice on me because they tend to look a little muddy. I am a little worried about this, so we'll see how it looks depending on the formula. Taking a Sonia G Worker Pro Brush, I'm just gonna put that all over my lid. And what I noticed about this color when I did swatch it, there's a little bit of a shimmer to this. Shimmer or some sparkles, but it's not so obvious. It's very, very subtle. There's like a slight shimmer to this shade. Nice. And I have a green eyeshadows series, and I'll link that above and below, because I am pretty much obsessed with the color green for shadows. It looks really good on my coloring and that I have brown eyes. And I will try to compare some other green quads after this look. Okay, that went on nicely. I just want to build it up more because that's more my aesthetic. I know some people might be more shy about the greens based on their coloring. For me, I know that the greens look good, so I'm going to really just put that all over my mobile lid. Greens and blues look really nice with someone who has brown eyes. Okay, that looks really nice. What I also want to do is that I want to bring this color down. This is a Lotus Series brush, Sonia G Soft Definer. Yeah, this is a softer formula. It's not as creamy or as pigmented as the previous Hermès quads. Okay, what I'm gonna do is take a little bit of that green. What do I wanna do? I think I wanna put it under here. This is a Pencil Pro by Sonia G. And then I wanna take some of this. What I wanna do first, actually, because I wanna see how pigmented this is, the blue shade. And I'm gonna look really quickly here because I have the other blue quad from Hermès. This is the Marines one. It is blue also, but there's 3 different blues here. There's like a dark navy on this side and then a bright blue, gray, and this is more of like a navy, a muted navy. So I'm going to take a Sonia G flat definer, and it has a kind of like a pencil edge, a thin edge. And I use this a lot for liners, and I want to see how pigmented that can get for a liner. Okay, she's pigmented. Nice. I'm actually just using that blue as all my liner. because it's a really nice color combination. Okay, so I'm going to take that same blue, just tapping off any excess, and then using that as my liner here. And you're going to see me do more of a smoky look today, because I really want to see how this palette, I know I can go subtle on it, but I also want to know like how far I can go if I want it to be pigmented. And that matters to me for someone who has melanated skin. Like, there's a lot of quads where I can't build up, and it gets really irritating if I want a smoky look, but this is beautiful. I would wear this to work. Now if I wanted, so I could stop here, and then if I wanted to, I haven't even used this shade yet, so I could, this is one look, I could finish up and put some liner and mascara, so that's one look which I think is really beautiful. Now I want to go into this shimmer shade. If I want to zhuzh it up a little bit, I'm taking a Sony G Builder brush. It's a flat edge brush. And what I noticed too is like a lot of these shimmer shades in the other Hermes quads are creamier, and this was a little bit like drier, which I wasn't really keen on, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to pat this on. Interesting, so it turns, I'm patting it over the green and actually cools it down. Sometimes when you have these shades and you put them over a green, it can turn them yellow depending on if there's some yellow pigment on there. I see a lot of quads with the greens, with there's a shimmer shade, they put more yellow in this. This is more cool. It'll turn the green a little bit frostier green. And the vibe of this is actually reminding me so far in first impressions is of the Byredo Mineralis palette, and I will kind of do a side by side of that. I'm not mad about it, it's pretty. It actually turns it in an interesting cool tone look with the brown here, which is warm. I feel like I want to, I'm feeling compelled to like go into this green more and build it up and kind of go up here. Just because I feel like I lost some of the green. And again, just going over my crease here because I have hooded eyelids. And sometimes you have to do that. You kind of go into the socket here. Just a hot tip if you have hooded eyelids or eyes similar to mine, because otherwise you will lose the green shade. Okay, that's pretty. I like that contrast. There's not much fallout. What I'm seeing is that I was surprised. I thought that would turn it more yellow, and it definitely made it cooler. So I'm grabbing what I want to do. Actually, I want to grab this. This is the Sony G, it doesn't have a name. This is the set that came out this year earlier. I didn't do a review of it because I've been kind of cutting down on my YouTube reviews, but this came out earlier this year. This was a limited edition set. I'm just going in, it's kind of like a pencil pro brush, but it's softer and it's smaller, so it's more precise than the one I used before. Nice, so it kind of cooled down the shade. I'm going to use this actually up here. Nice. Okay, so that is the second look. Second look is like a little bit more contrast, a little more zhuzh to this on the inner corner. I liked the first one more for a daytime work look. This is a little bit more fancy going on. I got a little sparkle going on in here. And the fallout is minimal. It's really nice. This is like a very beautiful fall shade. But for sure the formula is not as creamy as previous quads. So I'm just taking some more of that green because I just feel like I'm losing it, and the green is kind of like the star of the show, at least for me. This is what attracted me to the palette because I love greens. Okay, so now I'm gonna make it more smoky for kind of like a third look. So I'm grabbing the part of, again, this is part of the release of this earlier this year, Sony G. It's this is very similar to my favorite brush in my entire collection, the Mini Booster. The Mini Booster, I have two of these, but it's slightly thicker, but it's just beautiful. It's actually a little bit softer. So I'm going with this like other brush, this new one from Sony G, and going into that blue shade, and it's very pigmented, so I'm going to tap it a little bit off. And I'm going into the V part here. And I'm just tapping, I'm not like doing the windshield motions. Because I have hooded eyelids, this is how I build the V for me, just to smoke it out a little bit. See how that, just like that little tap, just added a little bit more depth. This eye compared to that eye. Right? Just added more depth, a little smokiness. And I'm not using like huge motions. I think that's the thing when you have hooded eyelids in smaller space, is that you want smaller brushes and just like more subtle, small movements. A lot of YouTubers have more traditional like Western eyes, or ones with a huge canvas to like work, so they do big windshield motions. That's what I learned when doing my makeup, is like seeing other makeup enthusiasts with a similar eye shape with me, to me, is that they do their makeup different because we have a different eye shape. So find somebody online or wherever, Instagram, whatever social media outlet you use, find someone with a very, like, find someone whose aesthetic you like, and then if they have like the same eye shape as you, it just helps you when you watch them how to do it side by side. And it's pretty formulaic. You just want a base of a color, a base here for crease, mobile lid, and then a smoke shade. And you know, you don't have to have this quad. You can use any quad as your base. So that is as smoky as I want to get. I think it's beautiful. This is a very, I mean, this quad, this is nothing special, but this look is very elegant. It's very pretty. I do wish it was a little bit more pigmented. I'm putting my hand in here just to see if I can build up this green. Very pretty. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is put some more liner on and mascara, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back and have the finished eye look. I'll get in really close. I finished with mostly the Victoria Beckham Satin Kajal in Olive, and it's such a beautiful color. Look how rich that is. It's so, so pretty, and I get it now. I had to figure out how to use these, and these are still some of the best liners on the market. Such a beautiful green. I think it's my favorite green in my entire eyeliner collection, because there's different types of greens. So that is on the top lash, and I just did mascara, and I don't have any other face makeup on. I'm going to do that with you, but look how beautiful this quad is. Is it unique and special like the color story? No, but if you are into luxury beauty and you want a luxury palette, I think she's really beautiful. And after I do my makeup, I will kind of show you other palettes I think they could be dupes for. But let me finish up this makeup look. So you can notice like the lighting here is a little bit different. I was playing with different settings, and I actually am this orange. Like, I have a tan, and so this is what happens when I get a tan. I get 1 to 2 shades deeper, and more of my orange tone comes out. So that is what you're seeing today. So I have the SUQQU The Foundation on today, and this is something I was gifted in PR like earlier this year. It's 040. I'm playing with this again because SUQQU is coming out with like some more releases, and I'm going to hopefully get those in the mail. I'm going to buy some and then hopefully get 1 or 2 in PR. And then I just love this foundation. Look how beautiful it is. I did put like a light layer of powder, but look how glowy and healthy skin it looks like. I didn't even use primer. This is how beautiful this foundation is. Okay, so I'm going to finish up my look really quick. I have the Hermes this is the bronzer, but it actually is called the Hermes Plein Air Powder 04 Sienne. I have a video of this. I actually got one that was a shade lighter than this, and I decided in this shade because I didn't want to have to work on building this color up as I tanned. So I'm taking I'm cleaning off my brush here. I find with this, because it's so pigmented, I use my scroll hair brush, and this is the Chikuhoda Z8 brush. And I just go in and swirl. It does have a little bit of a scent, but it's that Hermes scent. The smell of luxury. Look how beautiful that is. So this is a formula where they say it's blurring, and I don't always believe in those claims. But out of all my bronzers, I would say this is the one that actually that the ones that claim there's blurring, there's definitely blurring going on in this. So one thing I don't have is an Hermes. I don't have Hermes blushes. They're really expensive, and I have a lot of blushes. But if you think I need to get the blush because it's a similar formula and that it's blurring, let me know, because this powder is just beautiful. So look, that's no bronzer, bronzer. I love this color, SIENNE. And I knew this would happen once I got 1 or 2 shades deeper with my tan. This would be like so pretty on my skin tone. So I'm just kind of going down here. And with this product, I almost feel like I don't need blush, but we're gonna do it because we're doing a makeup video. So that was Hermes SIENNE. So beautiful. Okay, and then I'm going to grab a blush that I have been loving. This was a surprise for me. I bought this on a whim, and it's the MAC Glow Play Cushiony Blush. So this is new to me. This is not a new product, but they came out with some other shades, and I'm getting those. I think I'm getting True Harmony, and I can't remember the other one. This is Ginger Look, and this is such a beautiful color. It doesn't almost look like it doesn't show up, but it builds up so beautifully. And so I'm taking a scroll hair brush. It's got a cushiony feel, and it's different than, like, say, the formula from DANESSA MYRICKS. That one is really pigmented, whereas this is like really, it's buildable. It's got this like really beautiful mix of almost cool tone, but not. But it just really is a really beautiful kind of natural look bronzer or blush to my face. It is so beautiful. I actually like this formula because it is buildable, so I have more control over the blush. I love the DANESSA MYRICKS, but for me, I don't need it to be super pigmented off the bat, whereas that's like the DANESSA MYRICKS, I have to be really careful not to overdo it. I love this blush formula so much I picked up 2 more. That is Ginger Look MAC Glow Play Blush. It's got this cushiony feeling. Let me just see. It gives like an indentation, but that's just the formula. You can literally see my fingerprint in there, but it's such a beautiful buildable formula. Let me get in so you can see. It's just like the perfect peachy, but not too peachy brown shade. This side's a little bit blown out because the sun's this way, but look how pretty this is. Oh, I'm in love with this blush. And my closest foundation shades are below. So my winter shade, I'm like 2 shades lighter. It's like the end of summer. I'm definitely 2 shades deeper. And I'm probably about a Dior 4 Warm Olive right now. Okay, so let's do the lipsticks. There's 3 of these that came out in the fall collection. And there was like a balm, and then there was one that's like a pink, and then a red. Beautiful packaging, as some of you know. I showed you some of the swatches. It always comes in this canvas. And, you know, when it arrives, it actually arrives in the package. You see the H, which I love. I mean, talk about super luxe. Beautiful, but also it's not practical. I need to see what the lipstick shade I'm reaching for. So I actually store them this way. And we'll start with the light one, which is the 23 Matte Beige Doblis. And I'll do a quick swatch for you all here. Beautiful packaging. Blue on the bottom for this one, and there's black, green, and orange, which corresponds to the color of the quad. Do it on this side so you can see. It's a beautiful like orangey pink, a little bit of brown shade. Such a beautiful color. I actually love their Hermes lipsticks as like their standout product. Then their bronzer, and then the eyeshadows. Now this one is 73 Matte Légère Rouge Nappa. And this is the one that's like a burgundy wine color. Super beautiful for fall. The color is similar to the orange on this here. And then it goes into black, blue, and then navy. And then I'll do a swatch of this underneath. And you can see there's more pink in there. So we're going to do the 23 Matte Beige Doblis first. Okay, so Beige Doblis. And because the sun is going down, I'm look really, really orange. I apologize, but actually this is very much my skin tone right now. I'm gonna powder down, but I have an Instagram reel which I'll put at the end so you can see when I'm look a little cooler. But this is beautiful. I would say I really love this shade. I think it looks a little bit better when there is like a liner. So I'm gonna grab here a liner. Okay, I'm grabbing a liner that's pretty dark because I just want it to look a little deeper. This is Decade from Lisa Eldridge. See, it's very subtle, but it's kind of like fills out the color a little bit more. What I'm gonna do is, because the sun's going down, I'm looking a little bit more orange, but I'm gonna, let's see if I can fix that. Okay, so I powdered down my face a little bit, so I'm a little less orange because it happens with this foundation. It has like 3 stages of glow, which is kind of, yeah, it's kind of like their thing. Okay, so this is the color 23 Matte Beige Doblis by Hermès. Beautiful, beautiful color. It's, I don't know if it's showing up a little bit. Let me change the color setting a little bit. I adjusted the color because I was looking very orange, but I am pretty orange in real life, just so you know. But I just toned down the orange a little bit just so you can see how this color can change more orange or pink depending what I'm wearing. So it's definitely pulling a little bit more, I don't know, pinky orange with this outfit and like this coloring, but it's such a beautiful color. I would definitely recommend not sleeping on this color. And I learned really quickly that if Hermès says it's a limited edition color, it's gone once it sells out. So I'm gonna see which of these I'm using more. So far I've been using this and grabbing for this color since I got this collection. So I actually might get a backup of this because once it's gone, it's gone. Could this color be replicated? Probably, but I just really love the Hermès lipsticks. I love the packaging. I just love all of it. Okay, so that is Beige Doblis. Beautiful, beautiful color. I think it's described as like a pinky beige or pinky brown. On me, it looks very pink because of my coloring. I've seen other people that this actually looks more orange and deeper. But yeah, if you're similar coloring and you have like multiple pigments on your lips, this is what it's going to look like. Highly recommend. I think it's beautiful. Okay, so we're going to take this off and then try the other one. Okay, so now we're going to try the one that's the burgundy kind of wine. It on this side of my arm is very, very light. So this is kind of like where my tan is now. This is closer to my skin tone, but this is my summer shade. So you can see how in like lighter skin tones, it's going to end up being more like orangey pink. And this is going to be look more, I don't know, we'll see. It's like a different color. It looks more like reddish pink. But on me, I'll show you what it looks like now. So this is such a pretty color. And I have to say, this shade is a chameleon depending on what I'm wearing. So the other day I was wearing, I can't even remember what I was wearing, maybe more of a fall color, and it looked more burgundy on. And then now I'm wearing this outfit with green, like this olive green, and it shows up more, I don't know, it almost looks like orangey red with like a hint of pink. You tell me what you think. I don't think I have a color like this. I think this is such a pretty color. So I've almost feel like, okay, so this is what I've been doing. Just real talk. Yeah, like I've been wearing all two of these, but I've also been combining these two colors because then I like to cocktail my lipstick and then I feel like I'm getting 3 lipsticks. So this is what it looks like by itself. And again, the name is 73 Rouge Nappa. So beautiful. It's this color here, but you can see where it looks a little different on me. It just pulls a little deeper and a little bit like richer. Here, we'll get in closer. A little bit of orange. This is where I think the Hermes lipstick shine. I don't think I have a color like this. Something very similar, sure, but just there's something about these special edition shades that are very unique to Hermes. So, so beautiful. Oh, I'm gonna show you what I've been doing. I don't want to ruin it, but we're gonna see. I've also, depending on what I'm wearing, this can look a lot, but I have a full face of makeup, so it really looks very cohesive. I would say both lipsticks look beautiful with this eye makeup. Okay, so what I've been doing, if I want to just tone down this lipstick, because it depending on what I'm wearing, it can look pretty intense. I've been taking the Beige Doblis and doing this. I've just been putting this in the middle to brighten up the look. And that's it. So I almost have been cocktailing this lipstick, and it's so, so pretty. It's like best of both worlds. Okay, so we're going to end with that. So the eyeshadow, first impressions, I think it's really beautiful. Is it a unique color story that you have to run out and get? I would say no. If you are a makeup lover, you likely have this color story in your collection. So I review makeup, but also like I love green shadows. I have a green eyeshadow series, which again, I'll put above and below. This is not a unique color story. You either have this in your collection if you have a lot of makeup, or you could dupe this. Is the formula unique enough that I would say go ahead and buy it? No, this formula is not, in my opinion, does not feel like the creaminess of the previous formula. So I accidentally bought, what is this? The Marines Ombres Marines one. I made a mistake and I thought this was the fall collection because it threw me off with the blue. But this Marines one is much more creamy and silky and has more body and impact than this one. And I'll show you a picture of this one. I'm going to move aside, of a look that I did with Marines, so you can see how it's much more cool tone, very much like it took the place of Lisa Eldridge's Vega. That Vega palette I struggle with. Some people love her cream de matte formula. I struggle with it, but for me this is kind of like a no-brainer, like elevated. I just love this one. This is like, I love this quad this so much. This formula is much drier, and I was talking to another beauty friend that she said, she's like, I'm a little disappointed that it's not as creamy as the previous formulas. And I get it. It's true. This is not as creamy. So that's why I'm saying, if you have this in your collection already, like this color story, you do not have to buy this. But if you're a collector, makeup and person, and you have FOMO and you want to get it, this is like, I don't remember this is limited edition. If it is, I'll put it below that if it's limited edition. Some people collect makeup and they don't want to miss out. I get it. So you spend your money how you want to. But I'm going to pull some palettes that could be dupes, and I'm just going to show them in front of you now. So I have the Chanel Blurry Green, and I have a video of me doing that makeup. Is it the same? No, but it's similar. I actually think the green and the blurry green, there's two of them, have I like those greens better. They have more body. And I believe this Chanel one is part of their permanent collection. So you can see the green is not pigmented, very pigmented at all. This is the Hermes. And then I'll show you the ones from Chanel. I'll put it above. Okay, so you can see already those have body already, and so these are much cheaper too. I mean, it's still Chanel, but it's like it's expensive, but it's not as expensive as this one. So this is the Industrial Palette one, and I'm careful because this is a grungy green palette, and I love this one so much. This is like one of my favorite palettes. So there's a green here, and that's definitely more of a grungy green, and I'm gonna put it up here next to the, yep. So that's the Hermes. You can see it doesn't really swatch that much, but this is more of a green gold. And then there's like another one in here. It's like a duochrome. That one. And that doesn't swatch as well either, but these are starting to hard pan on me because I've used it so much. You can see there's like a shift there. And yeah, there's like another green, which is like this green here. It's like, I call this the grasshopper green. I was also thinking a lot of Pat McGrath's Midnight Sun. So I think if you have Midnight Sun, this is pretty much like, other than the blue, you're gonna get these colors. So you have the orange right here, the green here, you have the shimmer shades you have up here and these special Astral Blitz shades, but you don't have the blue. So it's not exactly the same, but you're gonna get some similarities here. I'm gonna go ahead and swatch this green here. And as you know, Pat McGrath is always super pigmented. Beautiful. I need to like put that out and use it since we're in fall. And then when I was using this Hermes palette, I was really thinking about the Byredo Mineralscapes palette. And unfortunately, this is no longer, I think this might have sold out. So I'm gonna do a side by side here. And there's definitely some greens and oranges. I think that orange is not gonna be, it's more like a salmon-y color as opposed to an orange. So you get more of a peach soft effect, but the greens for sure are more pigmented in this Byredo Mineralscapes palette. So I'm just gonna go ahead and swatch them, and that's what they look like. And those are the Mineralscapes here. So you can see Hermes is like way not pigmented, and that's what could be disappointing for a lot of people, is that this palette is not super pigmented. So there you have it. So do you need this palette? No. If you are a makeup lover, you likely have these colors already, and likely you have a blue somewhere in your collection. So, but some people don't want to cobble together their quads, and I get that, and they just want it in one place. So that makes sense too. My recommendation for sure, if there's anything in this collection you don't want to miss out on, it's the lipsticks. I would say do not sleep on the lipsticks. The lipsticks are, I think, at least for me, the favorite. Out of all the makeup that Hermes has, the lipsticks are my favorite thing to buy.